All right, Tyler. So first off, tell me, how excited are you for Wolfpack to finally premiere?
Oh my God. I'm filled with a bunch of different emotions. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I am jittery, but I'm honestly just happy and like proud. This is a huge step in my life, and this is something that I've never really done before.
Mhm.
And to see it finally come together and, see people appreciate it and stuff, that's kind of the point of acting that I see it as. So it's
Mhm.
an honor.
Awesome. Well, what makes this show worth checking out, and is there anything in particular you hope audiences take away from it?
I think there's a lot of things, honestly, to check out in the
Mhm.
show. There's so many different aspects. There's romance, there's scary aspects, there's violence a little bit. There's a lot of drama revolving around teenagers and adults. I think that people are going to be able to relate a lot. I think that's one thing that they'll be able to like take away is they'll be able to relate to the family dynamics, the characters' internal struggles, and yeah, I think they'll just be able to take away a lot of lessons, a lot of things that they can almost see in themselves. I mean, at least that's how I felt about it when I was shooting it.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
But I hope that it translates to the audience.
Yeah, I hope so. And why did you really want to be involved with this project?
Well, first of all, I was a huge fan of Teen Wolf. So as
Mhm.
soon as I saw like anything with Wolf and Jeff Davis, I was like, "Oh my God, this are you kidding me? This is like a dream come true." And then as I sort of dove more into the character and who he was, I really thought that this was a great opportunity to really make something beautiful, you know?
Mhm.
I really saw Jeff's vision, not only with this character, but with all of the characters. And I know that he wanted to do something really, really special and important. And I know that he wanted to relay not only one message, but like a few
Mhm.
throughout the entire series. So I just knew it was an opportunity that, as an aspiring young actor, I couldn't pass it up. I would regret it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, for sure. And so Wolfpack is your first major TV series that you worked on, right?
Yes.
So when you found out that you were cast, were you more excited or nervous?
Um, it almost didn't feel real. I was kind of in shock. I wanted to be excited, but at the same time, I was like, is this actually happening? And then, I went through like a series of emotions, like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, like this is insane. Like, oh my God, I
Happening.
did all this and it's really happening. And I've never experienced anything like this before. So it was definitely almost like a new emotion that I was feeling.
What was the best advice that you received?
Um, I'd say probably from the elders on set, the veterans, Sarah and Rodrigo. I don't even want to say elders because they're still young and they look absolutely fantastic for their age. Um, and they just told me to, keep my head on straight and
Hmm.
stay humble. And I feel like, you can take that as many ways as you want, but like if you really want to understand that, I think it's important to just care about why you're there, why you
Yeah.
were there from the start, before Wolfpack, why I was willing to take like the smallest role just because like I loved acting. I loved performing and expressing. And like it was never about like the money that I could bring or the fame or anything like that. Honestly, it's more about like being able to impact someone else
Yeah.
and someone coming up to you and being like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, you really changed my life or you really helped me through this. That's I feel like that is the beautiful thing about acting, and that's exactly what they constantly told all of the younger actors on set. So I really listened to that and dissected it as much as I could.
Awesome. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit more about your character. Who is Harlan Briggs? What are they about?
Harlan's he's a mysterious kid. He definitely doesn't like going the route that like you would see, like the popular kids in high school go. He
Yeah.
likes doing his own thing and he likes like being in control of his life. And he's sort of found like his niche of like, I don't even know if he would call it friends because he
Hmm.
has, a lot of trust issues. He's got a lot of secrets
Hmm.
that he had to hold and push deep down. He has an interesting past that he's really scared of, arising to anyone in the public. I think he wants to trust and he wants to love, and he's a very passionate kid, but unfortunately, like a lot of us out there in the real world, like sometimes you run from your problems. And
Hmm.
he along with everyone else has got to realize that like sometimes you got to face them, and sometimes it's not going to be fun to face them, but in the end you'll realize it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And Harlan also identifies as LGBTQ, but you are a straight actor. How did you want to approach this character? How did you want to play him?
um just like any other character I would play, I'm an actor. It's sort of, to me, it's sort of an out of body experience when I'm doing it. I'm like, okay, I'm now diving into someone else's life.
Hmm.
So I have to respect that and I have to honor that. And, anything that I had to do throughout the show, I was willing to, because I was like, this is Harlan's story.
Yeah.
Also, what an honor to represent this sort of character in this day of age. I mean, I
Hmm.
feel like everyone is really just going to appreciate and like love who he is as a person. But yeah, like it really wasn't even like this whole like barrier to me. I really just like I fell in love with the character so quickly, just realizing like the vulnerability he has, and like, just like even the romance, like it just,
Hmm.
everyone can relate to like, falling in love or being emotionally numb sometimes towards a significant other, or just feeling lost. So to me, it was more just about like the beauty of who this character is and how good can I tell his story.
Good, good. Now, is it also true that you did most of your own stunts in this show?
I did.
Yeah.
I offered to do almost all of them, but some of them the stunt doubles had to do because they were dangerous, and I was like, oh, I can see why, yeah. But I was always down for it. Anytime they were like, hey, so like we can get the stunt double, I was like, no, no,
Mhm.
let me do it. I don't know. I'm just like an adrenaline junkie, and I was an athlete growing up, so I think it's just that fiending for like activity.
Yeah.
Um, I could like mesh acting and that together. It was like a dream come true.
That's awesome. And Wolfpack also stars Sarah Michelle Gellar, Rodrigo Santoro, and Chloe Rose Robertson, who plays your sister Luna. What was
Yes.
the chemistry like between you and everyone else on set? It's like what you were telling me before. It sounds like it was an instant connection.
Yeah, it was instant, and it was really weird because like it's something that you don't expect right away, and you
Mhm.
sort of, I'm sure every actor sort of has their guard up when they
Yeah.
come onto a set because they're not sure who's not willing to make those connections. And I can genuinely vouch for every single actor on that set that they just they just welcomed with arms open. Like me and
Good.
Chloe clicked right away, became like best friends. We're still like amazing friends to this day. We still hang out. Rodrigo and Sarah, like, people who I was really starstruck by, seeing their past work in the industry, like people I would never even imagine working with, for them to just like, show how down to earth they were and how grounded they still were after like years of success, it really meant a lot to me. And
Hmm.
after a while, I was like, wow, I can't believe that I'm developing a relationship with these kind of people. They give advice, and they tell jokes, and we have laughs, and we have really good like heart to heart moments, and they're just really great role models. I've learned a lot from everyone on that set. I have a lot of good things to take away.
Good, good. Are there any favorite behind the scenes moments you would like to share with us?
Um, yeah, I mean, God, there was so many. Like, there was one point where I was filming with some of the other cast members, and someone found a frisbee,
Hmm.
and we're all bored of like sitting in the green room, just like waiting, running through lines that we already knew, just out of like anxiety. And someone was like, does anyone want to like go toss this frisbee? And there was a group of like eight of us just all tossing it diagonally to each other. And something as simple as that, you would never see as like some extravagant thing, but it was one of my favorite moments on set because we all were just like talking, and everyone was like, they put the job to the side, and everyone became like a real person. And I
Yeah.
realized that like I was developing real friends on set. And I think that's like, a dream for any actor.
Cherish those moments.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those moments that I really just cherished. And there was a lot more like that too. Just, us us goofing around, and us like, you know, 4 in the morning, we're just like literally like going crazy because we're all just like, you know, amping each other up.
Mhm.
But yeah, honestly, never a dull moment on set.
Awesome. Very nice. Now, I read in another interview that you had no interest in becoming an actor when you were younger. How did this journey begin for you?
Yeah, it's actually weird because when I was younger, I was a very introverted kid.
Hmm.
Thought of like performing or even like expressing emotion, like I was almost even scared to express emotion to like my family and friends.
Hmm.
Um, I really don't know what clicked, but one time I was out in Los Angeles and I was at an acting studio just auditing a class,
Hmm.
and they asked me if I wanted to do a scene. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm just here to watch. And they're like, no, you should. Like, this person needs a scene partner. And I was so nervous. Like, I was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. Like, I'm literally, I don't know what's going to happen. And this like switch like flipped in my brain, and it was like, but what if you just like let go and
Hmm.
just do it? No one's gonna judge you here. And that was one of the biggest moments of my life. I realized it taught me not only about acting, just about everything. It really like brought me out of my shell. And you know, from there, obviously, like that passion for acting just clicked and it
Hmm.
grew. And I started taking classes and meeting people, and then it turned into auditioning. And you know, now I'm on a journey of
Hmm.
an endless goal that, you know, can never really be achieved as an actor. It's just like
Yeah.
that you're always striving for more.
It's always amazing how one little moment like that can be forever life changing.
Yeah, I think it's something that a lot of people need to realize, that, you know, anything can happen in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
be aware, but you should always be open to trying new things too, because like again, it was something I never would have imagined doing. And now I regret like not doing theater in high school and not doing it younger, because I realized it's one of the things I love most.
Mhm. Well, now you're doing it, so just go on with that journey.
Hey man, yeah, I just want to continue now.
Yes. Well, what are some future goals you hope to accomplish with your acting career?
Um, you know, I'm down to do like any project. I want to do projects that, you know, I could transform for, you know, really play like any character. I
Hmm.
think, you know, developing as an actor is really diving into like different personalities, whether it's like a period piece or, you know, a nerd or anything. You know, I don't want to stay down like one niche of like a character. I
Yeah.
definitely want to expand that. And also I definitely want to try and center my work around mental health.
Okay.
I think that's a really big like problem nowadays. But it's okay because everyone deals with it.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of people are struggling with it out there and they don't know how to cope with it. And like, I mean, personally, from some certain films I've seen, it's really helped me a lot. And I realized like, you know, film is very powerful.
It
And
is.
like if I impact people just through a character, never mind like an entire project, I
Hmm.
feel like I could really help people. And, you know, from there, as an actor, I just want to give back to the
Cool.
community.
Cool.
So
Cool. That's
something that I'm gonna focus on a
good.
lot.
That's awesome. Well, Tyler, how can one stay up to date with you?
Um, I mean, follow my Instagram.
Mhm.
I'm usually on there. You know, Instagram. I just got Twitter. I'm trying to figure out that. Been like tweeting just like random things. Um, but yeah, I try to stay interactive with people
Okay.
because you know, that's the positive thing about social media. I
Hmm.
hate seeing people on social media and it's just like fake. I think people feel like they need to like create this perfect vision of themselves when, you know, it was originally meant for people to be able to stay in touch when
Hmm.
they see each other in person. So yeah, Instagram, Twitter, I
TikTok.
do have Snapchat. Oh, TikTok, of course. Yeah, TikTok too. And all of them are just my name, Tyler Lawrence Gray.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Very nice. Well, then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you would like to mention or plug at this time?
I shot a movie a while ago, like last year before Wolfpack. It's called Feeling Randy. And I thought it was a beautiful film. Um, it's also about a kid who's, you know, going through this internal struggle and dealing with his own things. And, you know, along the way, he meets different people that bring out different sides of him. I'm not the main character. I'm just like one of the supporting characters, but it's a very funny role and it's sort of a throwback. It's based in the 70s. So not sure when it's coming out, but I would love for people to check that out.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic.